Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show, where you'll find health and fitness inspiration, motivation, and information shared in 15-minute episodes. Tune in while getting a move on to make leading and enjoying the benefits of a healthy lifestyle almost too easy. It's the Fit 15. And now your host, Catherine Basu.
Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show. I'm your host, Catherine Basu, and we're not going to be talking about fitness today. Instead, we'll be talking about cooking. Today, I'm joined by guest Joanna Gold, who is a personal chef. And before I share more about Joanna in our conversation today, I did want to let you know, in case you are new here or missed it, that I did have another personal chef friend on the podcast for 2 episodes where we talked about different topics that you may want to go and check out. So personal chef Shelley was on for episode 98 to share 5 tips for making healthy cooking easier. So if you're looking to cook at home and you want to steal some of the tips from the experts, you can check out that episode 98. Chef Shelley also joined us just last week for episode 104, where she shared how she has lost 30 pounds and maintained that weight loss. So definitely go check that out if you are looking for what a personal chef who's exposed to lots of different meal planning options and lots of delicious foods does to lose and maintain a healthy weight by checking out episode 104. All right. Back to today's episode and Joanna Gold. Who is Joanna Gold? She is a personal chef and the owner of Gold Plated. She's from New Jersey and now lives in Oklahoma City by way of California, where she met her husband, an Oklahoma native. She attended culinary school in between her first and second children being born and immediately started working privately. After a few months and 2 very different clients, she created Gold Plated to help people enjoy their kitchen again. She wanted to create a meal planning community of personal chefs and homes that need their help. Well, welcome to the podcast, Joanna. I'm so excited to have you as my guest today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
So I'm a personal trainer. I can't cook for my clients, and many of them are virtual. So I often get asked about what they could do about hiring a personal chef and if I have any recommendations and just tips for getting started. So what would you say? What's the most important thing a client needs to know before they start working with a personal chef, and some other good tips for them?
I'd say one of the number one things that I think people have to be realistic about is communication, setting a plan, and knowing that much like any other personal service, just like personal trainer, it's not going to happen immediately. You hope there's an immediate connection, but it's still a plan and it's still a work in process. And when you're working personally with people, it's about breaking down some communication. And if both sides really want it to work, then it's going to be successful. But I really think it's like anything else. If you come to a personal trainer or you come to our service in particularly, you're trying to fix something that's slightly broken or something that's not working properly. Whether that be your meal planning or your budget's out of whack or you're spending a ton of time doing something that you just say, oh, well, forget it. I can just go pick up grilled chicken at the store and then get bored with grilled chicken and then buy fried. So, so that's usually the path, the larger path there, unfortunately. But I think that's the number one thing. It's that communication. It's that key. It's that understanding that it's a plan and it's a relationship that needs to be kind of tinkered with a little bit to get exactly what you want out of it.
That makes sense. And I guess, let's say someone were to hire you, what's that process of, starting that conversation and then, going from that to when you come into the home for the first time?
Sure. I'd say whether they know us from usually either a friend or a family member. The interesting thing about Gold Plated is up until this past year, we've never purchased any marketing outside of social media. We've never bought any ads. We've never been put ourselves in magazines, because I really felt that we needed to have that conversation with the client. And it was beyond just the logo and food. We wanted to help them solve their problems. So they can connect with us via the website, like I say, or our social media platform. And every client starts with at least a half an hour to a 45-minute in-home consultation. Mm-hmm. And we kind of use that as time to gripe, moan, complain about what's not working, what we've tried in the past, family, picky eaters, one on a diet, one won't eat vegetables, whatever it might be, because every home is different. Mm-hmm. I take that information and I break it down for the clients in chef terms, in chef mm-hmm. talk, if you will. Because I do believe that's important as well. To know why that they're coming to us is just as important, because it may take a little bit of that letting your guard down, because food can be so personal to people and it can be very emotional. And until about year 2 or 3 of working with Gold Plated, I didn't realize that was a thing. Mm-hmm. But we started to realize that people need to feel trusted. Sure. People need to feel like the person coming into their home is legitimately going to help, because it is a bit of an investment. Mm-hmm. But it's, as I said, the same way it would be an investment with a, personal trainer. You want them to get you. When they say it's sore, why is it sore? Is it sore because we work too hard, or is it sore because we're working? Mm-hmm. It's that same balance act. So after a consultation, and we go through all the information and any specific diet that maybe they've looked at in the past and they want to try again, or we put together a schedule. We get them on once a week. And then the day of their first service day, their chef will go over the profile that I've created in the system with likes and dislikes, allergies and tolerances, and their main goal. Mm-hmm. And they will put together a menu, go grocery shopping, go to the home, prepare all the items, mm-hmm. clean up afterwards, and leave a little love note of how to prepare said items, suggestions, any heads up.
Hey friends, it's Catherine, and if you're joining us for that out and back 15-minute walk and that's the only time you have, that little sound is your halfway point reminder. We're about 7.5 minutes into the episode, so you'll want to turn around now. All right, back to Joanna.
Of, hey, you're almost out of olive oil. Do you want us to get that next time? Maybe buying them a specific product in the grocery store that we think that they really would enjoy, and that would fit into their meal plan, but we wouldn't have time to prepare it that day, or just to let them know that we're thinking of them while we're in the store and we're trying to help them hit that goal.
Sure. That's really cool. So it's more of a personalized service, and just you're getting these meals coming and,
Right. No, absolutely. We do all their grocery shopping as well if they'd like. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter to us. We let them know right before every day, on a Tuesday at noon, on Monday at noon, you're going to get a reminder, text mm-hmm. message, hey, just as a reminder, we're coming. And that gives them an opportunity to be like, hey, can you pick up waffles, blueberries, 4 yogurts, and whole milk? Mm-hmm. This way mm-hmm. we're also relieving that temptation of having to go to the grocery store, or the angst, depending upon why they called us. Some it's because of angst, and some it's temptation, and some it's just sheer hatred of the grocery store. Right. Just absolutely despise it altogether. So mm-hmm. we try to help them out as best as we can.
Yeah, because, I was talking to another personal chef, and she was sharing tips as to, how to maybe be your own personal chef. And one thing she was talking about was going to the grocery store at the right times can save time. But the reason those are good times is that not everyone can go at that time, right? So if you're not able to, that could be a big stressor if you're waiting in line and dealing with all that chaos. So.
Oh, yeah. Every now and again, you generally won't find me in a grocery store on the weekend. If you do, it's probably because we might be having a party and I've got to run and pick up something I've literally already pre-ordered. That's for sure, whether mm-hmm. it be something from the butcher counter or the produce department. But I'm not going grocery shopping. But I do, if I need a little inspiration, every now and again, I will pop in a Whole Foods on a Sunday at 6:30 to just remind me this is why we do what we do. Because it's sheer chaos. People are overbuying. People are just grabbing things. You've got, there's just no other way to describe it than chaos to me in my eyes, as opposed to my 9:30 in the morning on a Monday or a Tuesday when all is right in the world and I'm highly caffeinated. So I can't imagine. No, absolutely not.
That's too funny. So you've said that hiring a personal chef doesn't have to be a luxury. So can you explain to those of us who aren't rich and famous just yet how we could actually afford to hire a personal chef of our own?
Sure. Not just rich. It's not just the rich and the famous. Yes, it's beyond the crystal glasses. I think these days, what's nice is that I do believe in every city you can probably find someone who will sit down and chat with you. If you're not in Oklahoma City, where we will work with whatever you have coming at us, you'll be able to find somebody that will sit down, and sometimes they'll charge you a consultation fee. But I think that most of them are doing a lot of free consultations these days because you want people to see the service. We're in a subscription box world these days, and grabbing that person is a lot harder because everything's very shiny and impressive. So I do think that if you sit down, you have to have your goals lined up. I think that's the number one thing. I think people are too worried about the fact that they don't like onions, because that is something super easy to fix.
Right.
The vegetable, the spice, the protein, that's all, to us, that's the easy fix. I can swap out asparagus for zucchini, no problem, no questions. But if I'm under the impression that my client came to us for strictly dietary reasons, everyone in the family needs to eat vegetables and chicken now. We're all down, we're all going to, 1,400 calories a day. Women, children, it doesn't matter who it is. This is what we're eating, tons of protein. If that's what, the impression that we have, that's what we're going to prepare. It's nothing but quinoa and chicken breast all day long.
Sure.
But if they don't communicate that, oh no, it's just me, the person that hired you, but everyone else in the family would like to have a couple of nice, luxurious items, a richer carb, a thicker sauce, something of that nature, because they're not on the diet and they don't need the diet, and they're a 10-year-old who's running all day every day playing. It's not bad for them to have that, half a cup of macaroni and cheese at dinner. So those are the things that you need to kind of align yourself. What are my goals? Is this a personal goal? Is this a family goal? If in the perfect world, I wish I had, insert item here. We joke around, but it's true. It's the fridge of good intentions.
Right.
You need to plan out. You need to plan out and figure it out. Some people are going to be able to menu plan their whole week. That's just the way their brain works. They can go to the grocery store. Their family is going to be totally on board, whether they like it or not, because this is dinner. But then other families aren't, because maybe they're busy, and you have to understand that. So with that being said, we all have to have some kind of a plan, and some homes, it's backup plans. So when you talk to that person, explain to them, my family is very active. I need options for a freezer meal. I need options for a crock pot meal. I need options for fresh items on the grill. I use a co-op. So maybe that person gets, not having that information as a personal chef, it's so disheartening. There's been a couple of times where we've been at homes and cooking the first time, second time, and then I open the fridge and I see this beautiful local produce. And the client forgets to mention that, oh yes, I get a delivery of a co-op every 2 weeks. And this sounds insane. It sounds, to anybody who's ever done it, you're thinking to yourself, that's insane. Why would somebody pay for something? Because we're people. because we
Right.
forget stuff.
Yep.
Because we're running on all cylinders. I myself, who literally grocery shop for a living, I use we use a meat company that delivers to our home, and sometimes I forget because that's my life.
Yep.
Because the cobbler's kids go barefoot. You know, I mean, it is what it is. We're still people. So you need to you gotta let down your guard and be honest and be like, listen, my trigger is whipping cream. It can't be in the house.
Yep.
I will do all the wonderful things with it. I don't want it anywhere near my house. So, you need to be honest on that level too. Let that chef know your triggers.
Hi, friends. It's Catherine. I'm cutting in here because Joanna and I had our conversation go a full 30 minutes, so I figured I would split today's episode up into 2. Subscribe to the show to come back to listen to the second half of our conversation and get the rest of Joanna's tips for working with a personal chef no matter where you live. And if you are local to Oklahoma City, finding out how Joanna and Gold Plated might be able to help you when you're ready to hire a personal chef. Thanks so much for listening, and I look forward to sharing the rest of our conversation with you tomorrow. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Fit 15. For show notes and more, visit fitarmadillo.com/podcast. See you next time.